Uh-oh, Barb's frozen. She's the CEO of High Five Leadership, and she'll be back here
Because
momentarily.
we know
There's Barb. Hi,
all right.
Barb.
Thank you. Way to have my back, Kevin. I love it.
I got you.
Uh, all right. And tonight we're going to talk about maximize your money. I totally lost my whole train of thought. It's all good. All right. We're excited to bring you this series because we know that during this crisis, there are a lot of people impacted a lot of different ways. And right now, as we talked about last night, it's all about loving each other and understanding that we're in this together and how do we help each other out. And that is our desire for tonight as well. So I am going to turn this over first to Rachel. And Rachel, you might want to just introduce yourself real quick as well again. And tell us some of the ways that you have been able to maximize your money.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Baxter. And if you didn't join us last night, I was recently laid off. And maximizing my money is of the utmost importance right now. As we know, job searching is slim to none with the economy that we have. Jobs are being canceled, and it's really challenging to get back into the workforce. Not impossible, but challenging. And so what money I do have in savings and or in my checking account is really important to stretch it as far as it can go. So the first thing I did after I got laid off was honestly check my bank account. What did I have in my bank account? What's in my checking? What's in my savings? And then I worked to figure out what money I had coming from my organization. So what vacation pay did I have? What salary pay did I have? Just so I had an idea and a grasp around how far can I actually stretch my dollars while I'm unemployed. And then I also immediately applied for unemployment. We went from 3,000 claims in Texas to about 30,000 claims a week in Texas. So this process wasn't an easy process, but any money that I can have coming in right now is really, really going to help my situation. So after about 2 days, I finally got my application in and my resume submitted. Yay! All of you out there that are struggling here in Texas or in your state applying for unemployment, stick with it. Apply after hours of 7:30, 8 o'clock hours. It will go through eventually. Just be patient. There's a lot of people in the same boat. So after I figured out what I was doing with unemployment and how much money I had, I then really just looked at my budget. I cut all non-essential things from my budget. So that makeup kit from, wherever doesn't need to come, that's $15 extra. Maybe looking at the spending that I was doing, the massage membership that I had, it's gone. So I went through and I cut all non-essentials. So when I mean non-essentials, it's my rent payment, it's my phone, it's my internet so that I can continue to job search, right? It's my electricity, it's my water bill, my gas, my insurance for my car payment. So those are all considered essential, and anything outside of that, food, I cut from my budget, and I am sticking to the basics. One of the other things I'm in the process of doing right now is calling different companies to see if I can get deferred payments. Student loans. Hi, I'm still paying on student loans. That is something that racks up. And right now, because I am unemployed and going through the COVID-19, economy layoff, that's something that can be deferred up to 6 months and or longer, depending on how long I am unemployed. Hopefully, I will not be unemployed for 6 months, but starting to defer those payments was really important. And then just making sure that I had the essentials already stocked up in my house. So food was really important because going out to eat, even though we can't go out technically to eat, we can only grab food right now and bring it back to our house. I can make the same thing for $20 or $5. And so for me, maximizing and stretching every penny that I can is so important. And so I went to the grocery store, I stocked up. I literally eat every meal at home, at home. If it's a grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup, it's an awesome night for me. Also, we've made a lot of meals that can stretch quite a long ways. So casseroles, soups, I found, 5 ingredients or less, really, they stretch and they reheat really well. And I don't get sick of them because they're not all dried out, like maybe a piece of rib would be or whatever it is. So quite delicious. And so really just looking at what it is that I actually need to pay for at this point versus some of those more luxury pieces, that has been really helpful. And then I'm not spending any money outside of those essentials. I also, one of my favorites is there's apps that actually give you money back for shopping. My favorite is Ibotta, but there's also one that you can use online that's Rakuten. I don't think I'm saying it correctly, but Ibotta is amazing because if I go and do my normal grocery shopping, like I just stocked up, I actually can get money back just by scanning my receipt. I actually just cashed in on over $100 from doing that. That went straight into my checking account, and I'm already spending the money. So why not cash in? Because they're looking at what people are buying. Cash in on that, right? Scan the receipt, click a couple buttons on what you purchased, and then automatic free money. So I'm looking into other pieces like that where I can just, even though I'm home, what can I do to get free money coming in? So for me, it's all about stretching the dollar. And if someone wants to pay me for doing something silly like scanning the receipt, I'm all about it.
Right? Why not? For sure. Thank you. Kevin, are you seeing us on your phone?
I wasn't looking on my phone. I'm seeing it online.
Yeah, I can't seem to get us on our, doesn't seem to be streaming on our phone. And you're on the High Five page, right?
Yeah, it's on the High Five page. I'll look at that real quick. I just wanted to say 2 things around something that Rachel said. So as part of the Sears Act that was signed by Congress, the $2 trillion, all student loans, regardless of employment status, all student loan interest and payments are deferred through September 30th. No interest is accruing during that time, so you don't have to be laid off. All student loan payments have been put on hold until. And so Rakuten, I think, is the website you were talking about. The one that I use frequently is called Top Cash Back. It actually has, it seems to have higher payouts. So there's also a page called cashbackmonitor.com, where you can go there and you can put in whatever website that you're going to be doing your shopping on, and it will go through and it will tell you all the different places that give cash back for shopping online, what their percentages are, because there's a whole bunch of them out there. And I find that that's a good resource as well to maximize the efficiency of your online shopping. So really smart tips that you gave there, Rachel. Good job.
Cool. All right. Jen, you look like you're ready to talk.
You bet. I'm always ready to talk. Hi, everyone. For you guys who don't know me, I'm Jen Hamilton. I was also laid off during this whole crisis thing. For maximizing money, to piggyback off of Rachel, yeah, non-essentials got immediately cut. I had a nail appointment and a lash appointment, and I was working to find time to get my massage that was already paid for. None of that happened, right? Like, I am blessed to have the background as a cosmetologist, right? So I know how to do my own nails. So I did my own nails, right? And I have all of that. I didn't have to buy any of that. I love them. You know, because I can't right now legally do my backup job to help bring money into this home because it's illegal right now. So I had to really dig deep and think about different things. One of the things that we did actually was insurance shop. So we went, when I say we, that it was not me, it was all my husband, let's be real. But we insurance shopped and we're saving close to $1,000. I think it's actually close to $2,000 a year because we switch insurances, which is awesome, right? Because in the long run of it, it's saving us money. I also, my girls just now are starting to earn allowances. And when I say earn, they literally have to do the chore to get the money. They just don't automatically get $5 a week to do whatever, like, because nothing is free in this house. I don't work for free and neither does my children. So I went on Amazon and had a coupon. I had a gift card, a $10 gift card on Amazon, and I bought them fake money. And it's like $5,000. It has coins and realistic dollar bills all the way up to 100. And so what we put denominations on whatever chore they're doing to earn money, and in the end they can turn that into mom and dad for real money. So right now, because we're, you know, I'm not doing hair and I don't have that accessibility, it teaches them that they have to earn it, but they're also saving it because they can't go to, we can't go to a store. The girls and I haven't left the house. The only person that leaves the house is Casey. So I don't go to the store. So we're not getting frivolous things, which is nice because it's teaching them to save their money as well. Cause they want big ticket items. Like Allie wants a computer and Haley wants a mouse for her computer. As little as that is, that's a big thing for them. So teaching them money management during this crisis is really huge for us, right? Because
cool.
Just like last night, I said behavior is observable. So however mom and dad are showing up, we're teaching them as well. Yeah, and you know, it's not a lot, but it works. And so we did that. We insurance shopped. Yeah, I cut out all non-essentials. You know, I went through, we still have moving boxes because we didn't move here that long ago. And I went through there before I was like, because the girls wanted to craft or something. And I was like, okay, let's go through boxes. Because I know that we have so much stuff in this house that we can utilize. And so I just went back through my stock and like they made their own little checklist. And they're like, well, mom, you have to go buy markers. And I was like, I have bags and bags of unused brand new school markers because I'd got them on sale for like 25 cents and just stockpiled them away. Right. So I would say go through your stockpile, make sure that you don't need to buy anything. We can, you know, make do with what we have. Right. Like they want to grow something. And I was like, okay, but right now, everything that we're planting in Texas is either getting pummeled by rain or no sun. And so I got a chia pet from my friend Javi, and it's a little gnome. And so we're gonna attempt a chia pet, and we're gonna watch it grow. It's gonna be fun.
That's
But
awesome.
I found that, right? So
Nothing better than a chia pet.
right.
And they're a lot cheaper to feed than the real four-legged or whatever kinds that others might have.
Exactly. So that's what we did. And they're loving earning their money. You know, like they get 25 cents for making the bed. Builds good habits and it helps them save money and then also learn the value of $1 because it can be taken away just like that.
Yeah, I love that in terms of anything that we can do right now to utilize it as learning and teaching lessons for our kids, for ourselves. Let's just be real. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So a couple things, Jen. So first of all, great job. All really good ideas. The one cautionary thing that I'll tell people about your insurance, it's perfectly wise to shop it around. Car insurance is car insurance for the most part. Make sure that you're comparing the same deductibles and the same levels of coverage. Homeowners insurance policies, depending on what state you're in, homeowners can be really expensive or it can be no big deal. In the state of Texas, homeowners is really expensive. And you got to be really careful about the type of policy. So it's fine to do some shopping, and it's also advisable to make sure that you have an insurance agent that you trust, that you can run that information by and get them to kind of help you with that decision making. The other thing about insurance is that you should always take the highest deductible that you can possibly stand. Now, it requires that you have some level of emergency funds and savings in order to take care of that deductible. Unfortunately, most people don't have anything in savings from an emergency fund perspective. And so this is the learning opportunity for if you didn't have an emergency fund prior to this emergency, moving into the next one, you'll understand the value of an emergency fund. We recommend anywhere from 6 to 9 months of expenses in a safe, liquid, not earning much money, but it doesn't matter because it's not about the rate of return all the time. It's about the liquidity, use, and control of your money. I like to say that the more liquidity, use, and control you have and the knowledge of what to do with it, liquidity, use, control, knowledge, LUCK, the more luck that you will have financially. And if you have $1,000 in an emergency fund somewhere, you can check to see what happens if I raise my deductible on my car from $500 to $1,000. What you might find is that might save you another, 40, 50, 60 bucks every 6 months. And while that may not sound like much, if you don't have accidents very often over the course of a few years, that's significant savings, right? But you at least want to check and see, okay, so what does it do if I raise my deductible to $1,000? On your homeowners, if you have a fixed dollar deductible like $1,000 or $2,000, ask your insurance agent, what if I raise it to 1% or 1.5%? 1.5% of what? Of the amount that it's insured for. So if you have a $250,000 house that's insured for $250,000, 1% would be a $2,500 deductible. A lot of the insurance companies have their premiums set maximized for your benefit at that 1 to 1.5, 2% deductible rate. So if you've got it stated as a dollar amount instead of a percentage, you may not be maximizing your savings. It may not be that much in terms of dollars, but in terms of the difference between a $2,000 deductible and a 1%, which is $2,500, but it might make a big difference in your premium. So those are some things to check as it relates to insurance. Really, really a place that people frequently are losing money unknowingly and unnecessarily because they don't know any better. And it's really, really important that you talk to somebody who's got some knowledge in the area of property casualty insurance. And if that's something that, while I don't sell property casualty insurance, I do have experience and knowledge in that area. So if anybody wants to take advantage of that 30-minute free coaching that we've been offering and you want to talk about, you want me to look at your financial stuff, I'm more than happy to do that as part of that coaching.
Yeah, we also been watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to take care of a pool because we came from Colorado and we didn't have a pool and now we do. And the day I got laid off, the pool guy came to clean the pool and I was like, yeah, sorry about that. This will be the last time. And now we have chemical and strips and cleaning supplies and all the fun things.
And isn't it awesome? So I love the niceties or, other people doing stuff for me, but you get to learn something.
Yep.
Thank goodness for YouTube, right? We can learn almost everything nowadays, and you'll appreciate when the time comes to hire the pool man back. he'll appreciate it that much more.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
I
been
love that.
Another important thing that you said, Jen, the whole idea of what do we call it when we give kids money?
allowing.
Allowance. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. So, so we got a senior in high school and a sophomore in high school that we give $20 a week, and they just, they have very few chores. I like the idea of pay to play kind of deal. And we had to tell them, look, we're taking pay cuts right now, and so are you. And it's a learning opportunity to teach them the value of money and what it takes to earn it, and that it's not a free commodity. There is not a tree. I always thought my dad was nuts when I was growing up when he talked about we don't have a tree in the backyard with money growing on it. I now understand what he meant by that, and it's an important lesson to teach our kids for sure.
Yeah,
good
we
job.
needed we needed to fill up our big 5-gallon gas bucket for the lawnmower, because apparently when you fertilize your lawn in Texas and it rains every day, you have to cut it like every 3 days. It's quite ridiculous. So I get a lot of exercise, but the girls went with me. And being Casey goes to the grocery store all the time, I was like, I wonder how many fuel points we have, because I have no idea. And there was $1 off. So I filled up the truck and filled up my 5-gallon bucket of gas for 65 cents because I had $1 off of gas. Right. So like utilize where, piggybacking off of Rachel again with her app. Absolutely. I'm going to use that. It's my earnings, right, for buying groceries or whatever. So if you can cut cost in that way, and they'll give you up to 35 gallons. So I texted Casey and I was like, bring the Jeep. Let's get as many as we can for 65 cents a gallon. That is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. Fantastic. All right, James, you're up. What you got to add to this conversation?
Well, my name is James, and like my employer, I was also impacted by COVID-19. And so even though my employer still employs people, they still have to go through a very difficult situation, same as I, just the other side of the coin. So I'm very grateful, again, for Barb and High Five to reach out to me and my peers to be on this with you. And to segue from the gas, one of the things that I have is an app called Gas Buddy. And you can tie your bank account to a card. They'll send you a card, and it pulls right out of your bank account. But it also discounts the gas. And so with the gas plummeting, I think it's dropped 10 cents every day over the last 3 or 4 days, or longer maybe, but it's down to like 131 down the street, or $1.31 a gallon. And yesterday it was $1.44, and the day before that it was $1.57. So outside of those savings, Gas Buddy helps you locate the lowest price per gallon by whichever, unleaded, premium, plus, whatever it is. And also there are deals. So gas stations, especially because of this time, they're also impacted by COVID-19. If gas is $1.31, they'll run a sale for 3 hours or whatever, and you can actually get it way cheaper. Like I'm talking 30 cents a gallon cheaper. And then on top of that, you usually get, I think it's like 5 cents a gallon. So, crazy amounts of, quarters on the dollar, 50 cents on the dollar savings at times, just for gas. And then I also think about when I'm driving, back when we were all on the roads, it gets pretty tough. You sometimes people choose your attitude for you when they cut you off. The little orange blinker on the side view mirror. In Texas, we call that "I'm about to cut you off" occator. It's not a blind spot detector. It's an "I'm about to cut you off" occator. And it lets you know to speed up because the other person's trying to pass you. So all of that to say, I'm grateful that the traffic isn't the way it is, that I get to choose my attitude even in those moments when traffic was a big deal. And I can set my cruise control for the speed limit, knowing that I'm benefiting the most miles per gallon for my vehicle. And it may not seem like a lot, but it's those small things. It's the little apps that we're talking about. It's making the choice to set the cruise for the speed limit instead of dumping all that fuel in that pedal just to go faster from the get-go, to speed off from the red light, or to be first, whatever that is, to just stay calm. and reap the benefits of not overwearing your vehicle, not over getting into the gas with the pedal and things like that. I also think about automation. And so I think Rachel and Jen may have touched on this as well, but all the subscriptions, you know, I had house filters, AC, HVAC filters being delivered to my house because one, I didn't have to go out and purchase them myself. And two, they were just as the cost wasn't any different. And so I was saving any trip, time, gas, whatever, going and picking these things up when they were just being delivered to my door. I was doing them about every month, but I know they can go about 2 or 3. So we're going to see how we can stretch the filters, but I've cut that subscription off. And then I also think about Amazon and things like that. You can get subscriptions per item that just automatically show up, you know, the vitamins, whatever those things are. And so what we would do, or what I would do, recommend, is having a review similar to what Rachel was talking about, essential, non-essential. Just go through anything in your automation, pull your bank statement and find out what charges, what is your purchase practicing, and find trends, question things you're not sure of. But all the automation, have you really combed through and determined, you know, is there an automation? I think iTunes, with any apps that you have that have a recurring subscription like Pandora. That's, I think, depending on what you got, you know, Spotify, whatever it is it essential for you and your lifestyle with your budget, your emergency fund, whatever that is, because it may need to be put on hold so that you can maximize your money in other areas, such as your roof, your food, what it takes to continue life, you know? So just think about automation. I spoke about, just briefly, about being grateful, but also I have this philosophy: learn to love what you hate. And I don't mean necessarily people hate anybody watching this, so you can take it to learn to like what you dislike, but it just seems on the extreme. Learn to love what you hate is so profound. And so it's like, but James, I don't like potato salad that's sitting in my fridge. I'm not feeling potato salad right now. I'm feeling surf and turf. Okay, well, what is it that you can technically afford? What's going to sustain life if it gets down to that level, right? You hate potato salad at this moment. Learn to like it. You know, opportunity does not, but despite whatever meme you see on Facebook, opportunity does not knock on your door. You are in control. I'm in control of opening my own doors. Because when I say I dislike or I hate or I don't want something, that's me shutting my door to a path that leads to opportunity. And so I don't like potato salad. We probably can't take this philosophy into some potato salad right about now, but maybe, you know, maybe I don't like this. Walk through the door. It's not going to knock. You're just in a labyrinth of hallways with a bunch of doors. And you're in life, you're walking down this labyrinth of hallways, and you get to choose if you want to walk through that door or not. The door doesn't come up to you and say, hey, I've got the CEO position available. Do you want it? It's not going to happen. But the doors that you choose may lead to that outcome. And so when you find yourself saying, you know, I don't like to use the cruise control. I don't like to download apps. I don't like to eat whatever's in the fridge. I don't like to cook. Whatever those things are, those are the identifiers. Those are the flags in life that say, hey, there's another way. You may not like it, but you can choose. You can walk into that, through that door, into that room. And if you don't like it, guess what? You can step back out and you can continue down your automated life. You can live life in whatever habits that you have set up, whatever choices that you routinely choose. But if you choose different, if you walk through this door, and you know what? You can stand it. You don't like it, but you can stand it. Maybe there's another set of doors, another hallway, and ultimately that leads to your outcome. And if your outcome is being a better leader, if your outcome is maximizing your money, if your outcome is to have better emotional support, pay attention to those flags that come up all through your life, all through your day, in what you say and what you hear, what you observe, because you are in control of the doors that you open. It's not going to knock. It's not going to show up. I was laid off a week ago Tuesday, and I started my job yesterday. And so I was laid off technically for a week. But I'm frugal. I don't spend a lot of money. I took some of the best practices that we're sharing and talking about here, and I focused on my outcome. And even though I don't like to work a commission job, because I can't really budget that very well. I choose to walk through that door, and I choose to have a job versus sitting here struggling to find something that fits my likes. You know, so a check coming in for me is a lot better than no check coming in. So I'll get off of that, but learn to love what you hate. Entertain whatever it is that you don't like. See what you learn from it. You never know. It may lead to the outcome that you want to get to. And then lastly is just being grateful. I'm grateful that I have potato salad in my fridge. I'm grateful that I don't have to get out and risk my life, technically, to go get something different. I'm grateful that I have teammates, peers, brothers and sisters on this call and all those watching, because we didn't have this in the first days and week of the way our life was impacted. But just like this and how things, things are getting extended, companies are still being impacted and people within those companies are still being impacted. This recording, this stream, this shareable post is going to help someone, whether they're currently impacted or maybe they're going to be impacted tomorrow, next week, a month from now, whatever that is. So I'm just grateful that I get to make the choices that I get to make. They may not be my preferred set of choices, but I get options. They're not my preferred options, but I get options. I still get to choose. And so just like everything else that I've ever learned from High Five, to choose joy, there's joy behind every door. You just got to look for it.
Gotta look for it.
Positive is available.
James, love that.
Yeah, great stuff, James. A couple of things that came to me while you were speaking. The whole idea of, saving 50 cents here. I'm not the most frugal person, but you know what? I'll bend over and I'll pick up a penny that's on the ground. I'll pick up a dime that's on the ground, and people laugh at me. I don't care. It's money. So if I can save 10 cents, if I can save 25 cents, I'm doing it anyway. What's the big deal? Right? But the 10 cents here and the 50 cents there and $1 here and $100 on Ibotta, and you're spending the money anyway. Why not get it back? And it adds up. And over time, it's real money. So that was one thing. And it kind of reminded me of the slight edge, right? If money doubles every day, early on, it doesn't seem like much. A penny doubling to 2 pennies, doubling to 4, doubling to 8, doubling to 16. It doesn't make much difference in the early days, but the more consistent you are with it, over time, it becomes much, much more meaningful. So that was one thing. The other thing that you were talking about that struck me was opportunity. And so the way you presented it, you said opportunity is not going to knock on your door. I agree with that. What I will also tell you is that what I loved about your analogy of you're in a labyrinth full of doors is that opportunities are always available. There are opportunities everywhere. There are opportunities in depressions. There are opportunities at wartime. There's opportunities. The reason that most people don't see the opportunities is for 2 reasons. Number one, they're not in a position to take advantage of it anyway, so it doesn't even show up for them. Or they're so focused on what they don't like that they miss the opportunity, right? So put yourself in a position to be open. We ask the question at High Five Leadership all the time, what else is possible? What else is possible? And you know what? This may not be the opportunity that I choose, but I'm sure going to take a look at it and consider it before just saying, you know what? I don't like that. Okay. Doesn't mean it wasn't available to you. So those opportunities, I like to say there is a river of opportunity flowing past us all the time. The question is, are you in a position to take advantage of the opportunity when you recognize it or not? And most people, unfortunately, are not in position to do it, or they're too afraid to take that risk because it's scary. And we talked a lot about that yesterday. Barb, I know we're kind of up against it. Can I just say there's one other topic that we haven't. So far, you guys have done an amazing job talking about to maximize the efficiency of your money, right?
Oh no, he's locking up. His big moment, Kev.
Or
It's like he's at McDonald's and he's ordering a large with extra and
Oh, and I know how passionate he is about what he wants to talk about. Let's see if he comes back.
Oh, sorry, Kevin.
I can tell you this about Kevin. He's an awesome coach. He thinks differently, but at the same time in a way that can be palatable and match whatever personality or ways of thinking. He's pretty awesome. So I'm grateful that he asked to join us on this call, because whatever he was going to share, I'm sure he'll be getting with us. If he's not going to jump back on, he'll probably post it in the comments or something.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back in a second. And likely, so I'll pre-tell his story. One of the things that Kevin convinced me of years ago was to buy life insurance. And every year when it came around time to put more money in my life insurance, I would like, Kevin, why am I doing this? And he would re-explain to me why. And right now, I now have a line of credit available against that life insurance policy. That this is why I have it. I can now use that money.
And that's what I have to say about that.
I was just telling my story because you were probably going to say it. So now I have that line of credit, and I can take money against that life insurance policy at a lower interest rate, and I can also use it as collateral against for me, if I need it, and in this case, this is just a safety net for High Five for the next couple of months as well. And like I said, I was like, why every year, Kevin? I'm like, Kevin, why am I doing this? and he was so patient. I'll give you credit, friend. You're so patient. This is why. And the other thing is now, if I don't need that money for High Five or for myself, I can use it to take advantage of one of those opportunities. And I'm betting that's where you were going to go, Kev. So I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So that was part of it, right? You got to have money put in a place before you need it, right? That's the whole idea of the emergency fund. That's the whole idea of having capital. As a society, we've been led into this belief system that it's all about rate of return, that everything has to be earning the maximum rate of return at all times. And that's a fallacy, because the question I would ask is, what's the value right now of rate of return, or what's the rate of return on money that you can get your hands on right now to take advantage of an opportunity that just showed up? If I have liquidity, use, and control of my money, I can generate rate of return. So that's part of it. The other thing that I wanted to say that you guys haven't really touched on as it relates to financial questions is, a lot of times I hear, well, what should I do with my 401k money?
Mm-hmm.
Should I leave it at my current employer? Should I roll it to an IRA? Should I roll it to my new employer? And what I'll tell you is that generally, it is my recommendation that you roll it into your own IRA, that you take it away from the company where you were, not because they're a bad company or that they're going to do anything with it, but almost all 401k plans have very few investment options. When you roll it into your own IRA, you now have, not only do you have control over it, you don't have to keep up with the old company. They don't have to keep up with you. So you have control over it, and you have the whole world of investments of what you can do with it. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, the question is, should I roll it, if I go to a new employer, should I roll it back into my new 401k? Generally, my advice there is no, you should not. You should keep it in your own IRA. There are some benefits and advantages of having money in 401k that you don't have if it's in an IRA. And again, for each person, that situation is going to be different. And so that would be a conversation to have with your financial advisor. But generally, again, what I'm going to suggest is that if you've been laid off and you had some money in 401k, the worst thing that you can do is to have them send you a check. Because if they send you a check and you're not 59 and a half years old, not only are you going to pay whatever income tax is due on that money, but you're also going to pay a 10% early withdrawal penalty because you're not 59 and a half. And then if you decide you want to roll the money over, you have 60 days to roll the money into an IRA, but you have to roll all the money, including what they withheld for taxes and penalties, and then you got to get that money back. So the worst choice you can make is to say, send me the money. But again, if you have questions about that kind of stuff, I am happy to answer those on an individual basis. Again, a good use of that 30 minutes of free coaching. Happy to advise you on what to do with your old 401k money. Great job, guys. You guys covered a lot of really important stuff. And it's, although I know it's not, I like to say it's not it's not the Sex and the Sizzle. Sex and the City was a TV show. This is the Sex and the Sizzle about money, right? Talking about how do we cut back and how do we save a nickel here and a dime there. It's not the sexy stuff that people want to talk about money, but it really is the foundationally important. It's the blocking and tackling things that if you do them, you can then do the other sexy things. But because most people, they're not saving enough money, they're not putting it in places where they have control over it, they're not putting it in places that it's safe. When times like this happen, they have very few options in terms of how to get their hands on capital. And so, but you guys have really done a great job, and that resource guide that you put together has some really, really good ideas and resources for people to use, whether it's apps or strategies. I'm really impressed by what you guys did. So high five to all of you.
And yeah, for sure, right? And for me, it's just take control of what you can take control of, right? Because there also are people that just, they don't want to deal with it at all. And so instead of looking for these ways and knowing how much money, like Rachel started out, right? How much money do I have? What does this really look like? You got to get real, right? This is about accepting personal responsibility for your life moving forward. And we can play the blame game all day, but that doesn't pay the bills. And so what does this look like? What can I control? And how can I make the choice to like it? You know, I didn't like veggies until I wanted to be healthy. And then all of a sudden veggies were okay, right? So we make those different choices in our life, and we can do it here as well. And I mean, right, taking care of the basics, taking care of our families, and just knowing where to stand, and then asking for help if that's where it needs to go to. So, but you got to know where you're at before you know what to ask for. So again, thank you, the three of you. We're going to be back again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we're going to talk about job prep, and James is actually going to kick us off, and he will be able to tell you some of the things that he did. So within a week, he's already back at it doing his thing. And I know Rachel's got a ton of background in this as well, in terms of resumes and all of the things that will set you up for success interviews. So it'll be a great conversation. So same time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, we'll be right here. I know we were a couple minutes late, and I also know there was a few little tech issues and today, but stick with it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you download that resource guide. And final thoughts?
Take advantage of the coaching offer. Chad has posted the links to the calendar for the coaching offer. He's posted the link for the resource guide. All the guys, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to take advantage of free resources. That's why they're there. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength. And we are all in this together, and take advantage of the resources when you need them.
Yep. I think we are clear that vulnerability is absolutely the new strong, and we got your back. Thank you guys again. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you all. Have an incredible night. And it's not about choosing joy when it's easy. Anybody can do that. It's about choosing joy when it's hard. All right. Love you. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.